Hey YouTubies, I think I got a good one for this week, and that's this bad boy. This is my 1990 Chevy Suburban. You know, it's the Squarebody flavor, one of my favorites. So a little about this truck here. I've owned it for about 3-4 years now, and well, it was in my neighborhood, and when I moved out to my neighborhood, I seen it in the neighborhood and I was like, man, that's a good looking truck, and if that thing ever goes for sale, I'm buying it. All right, so fast forward another 2 years, the truck comes for sale. I'm like, holy crap, that's that truck I want. So I saved up some pennies and I saved up some pennies, and then as soon as I had a moment, I was gonna call the guy, the truck disappeared. So I was really sad. I got a little heartbroken, and then I did whatever, and a week later I seen the same exact truck parked in a different spot for sale still, and I was like, man, I know that's that truck. So I called the number. Long story short, I bought the truck. I came home with it. I drove the truck for about a year before I decided to make a huge change. All right, she's got like 213,000 miles on her, but I decided to take the 350 out, take her out, no more. And I decided to put a 6.0 liter Vortec motor, you know, powered by tornadoes. I started the project, stuff got in the way, it got pushed aside. I then got back on the project and more stuff got in the way, it got pushed on to the side. So here we are, like 2 years later, and I still have not completed this LS swap Suburban. First things first, we're gonna wash this bad boy down, and then we're gonna jump into the last few items that I think I need to get finished up, and we're gonna try and get this thing fired up and maybe take her for its first test drive. So we've been sitting since 2020. It's like 2022, so let's get on her. Let's get after her. You can see she's pretty dirty. Really dirty. Because out here, it's really dusty. And it's been inside, but that don't matter. Here's the beauty itself, a 6 liter, you know. And we have some transmission wiring we need to finish up, you know. We obviously need a battery and to put the computer on. And then also one big thing that we need is some transmission cooler lines. So we get those few things here, and we might be able to fire this thing back up and take her for a drive. Oh yeah. We might be doing some driving. Look at that Rolla doing work again. Simple. Just like that, she's in the garage, you know. Now we can work on her, do some stuff. But I forgot to mention that this motor came out of a van, a 3/4 ton work van. Yeah, that's right. And it just was the block. And what are those, you know, they let the air out, the exhaust manifolds? That was it. There was no pumps on the front of this motor. There wasn't even an intake or a throttle body. Yes, I had to do a lot of sourcing of parts, but it was pretty simple. I actually bought a Suburban of the 2005 year for like 500 bucks, and I used almost everything, except I didn't want the, you know, the electric gas pedal, so I converted over to the cable style, That works. I do have the fuse block out of that 2005, so that's the newer version. I also ran the fuel pump in tank, so I have the original Squarebody tank with the new 2005 fuel pump, which all I did was just take it apart and put it on the old school sending unit. Works great, but probably that it's been sitting for 2 years. Fuel pump probably needs to be replaced very soon, unfortunately, but we'll find out when that fails. So that being said, like, I have many hours me and Grandpa spent thinking, researching, and doing whatever we can to get this in here. And I took her on one test drive. My original plan was to keep the old 700R transmission in here so I can keep that old school shifting feel, you know what I'm saying? But that didn't really work out too much in my favor because, for one, I didn't really do the mathification until after the fact. But this Soul 60 puts out too much torques for that 700R. We were like 50 pounds, or maybe it was the horsepower. We were like 50 off, okay? 50 horsepower or 50 foot-pounds of torque too much. And on my test drive, I'm cruising down the road over there that you can't really see behind the corn. You know, cruising. And, you know, I'm not even intending on going fast. I'm just trying to drive her. It's a test drive. And we're doing about 35, 40 miles an hour, and this thing just downshifts or shifts into second gear, and she just opens wide up, and we cruise. The next thing I know, I'm doing like 75, 80 down that road. Was not good. So at the end, I flipped a Yui and I came back, and you know, she had just no guts. So then I knew that the transmission, she was goner. And I don't know if that was because of my terrible mathification and my, you know, laziness, really, or if it was because the kickdown for the transmission, I did not hook up neither. I didn't hook the kickdown cable up. And I'm thinking more that's the reason the transmission blew up. So I came back and I said, well, I've got this 4L60E just laying around, and that's what I put in it. I came back and did the transmission swap using the old T-case because it should work, and I never put the transmission cooler lines in. So that's our goal, is to get the transmission cooler lines and then the electrical for the transmission that we installed after the fact. And that's why these wires are hanging up here, because my intentions was to clip them out of the harness because we weren't going to use them. But it's good that I didn't, because I had to come back and I need them now. So now all I got to do is just lay them down the transmission and plug them in. Well, minus doctoring up the few issues that we have, you know, like wires. But doctor those up, clip them in, put some transmission cooler lines in, and we should have a driver right off the get. So before we get these new guys in here, I get these ones out, and it's, you know, just a 1/2 inch nut, and then they trace down back here and then along the side of the motor there. I got the drain pan down there and my handy dandy wrench. I got these old ones out in the bucket, and of course I made a huge mess. Had to get the kitty litter out. Dang it! So I got these new ones here, and we got a little guy in the shop. I'm gonna climb up under here, and he's gonna pass me these so I can sneak them in the right hole. Yep. Whenever you're ready, hand me those, big guy.
Right. Down?
Yeah, you're ready. Thanks. Holy cow. So like many, and I mean many dad words later. Yeah. They're in there. It was a struggle. But here's one of them. You can see with the little red tape here. I don't even remember why I have the red tape here. But I need adapters to hit, you know, because these are too big and these are too small. Too big, too small. So I need to go get something to address that, but I'll do that tomorrow. And then I'll do some wiring tomorrow, and then we'll see what happens. New day, new task. Grandpa, he's over there. He's washing his Suburban. You know, they gotta stay clean. I'm over here, and I figured I still have not stopped by the hardware store or part store and gotten little adapters for the tranny lines. So I decided I do have some electrical stuff, and I do know what's wrong with this clip because the wire is just dangling. So I took it apart real quick. I took the little plastic, this little thing out the end here, and then pushed the wire, which would have been that one, the empty one on the end. Pushed it right out, and here's what it looks like. This little guy, you can tell I ripped it right out the end. So I figured, you know, when I did the LS swap, I saved every little piece that I could because I might need it later. So we come into the room of goodies here, you know, with Cody's 427 and my 5.3 LS motor sitting here that's soon to be Cody's going in his Trans Am maybe. My toolbox. And then this little goodie jar here. This is my like save electrical pieces, all right? Oh, hey Phoebers. What are you doing, girlie? Did you come say hi? Did you good dog? So I came through and I wandered and I looked and I plucked through all this. Hey girlie. And I can only find one little wire with the same little tip as the other one. Now it's not the same color, and that's fine, it's okay. But what matters is it's got the same little end, so it'll just go right into that clip, and we can leave it long, and it'll work. It'll transfer the electricity through it, no problem. It don't care that it's green instead of brown. I don't care that it's green instead of brown. The next guy might be a little bit upset, but he'll be happy that he's got an LS swapped Suburban and that it works until it breaks. You know how cars are. So I'm not trying to say this thing will just break right away, you know. It'll be a while, you know. It's natural for any car to break anything, okay? So let's take our perfect little wire here and shove her down this hole here. Come on, little buddy. And then we'll watch it come in here. Give her a tug test. She's in there. So now, all I gotta do is take this extra long green wire and attach it to this little brown wire. And we'll see if I did the right thing. After, and I mean after, we deal with stuff like this. You know, we got other ones to deal with. I'm gonna use these little crimp-on connectors for now, and then I'll come back and solder it later once I'm happy and I know that we're good. Snip, strip, snip, strip, snip, strip, twist, twist, crimp, cha-cha, flip, set, crimp, cha-cha, and burn. And burn another. And blow. And set. And back in its plastic. Like it never ever happened. Last piece. Little connector. So now, my next task is trying to get this VSS wire. I gotta chase it out all the way from this harness to about up here, because I'm gonna use the old wires that run down to the transfer case already. So then I'll just splice them up here and then, you know, rework it up top rather than laying on the ground. Well, it's been like a couple hours and not much has changed. So first off, I did come back and put this green wire together. See my little butt connector? Yeah. I just butt connected it for now. And then taped it all up. And those other two clips and wires, well, I chased them puppies all the way back to about here, because these are the wires I need to get to. So, you know, that's pretty close distance, close enough for me. And then we'll do some splicey dicey and then some like cool connectors so we could take them apart later if we ever want to take this motor out. And that's, you know, pretty much where I'm at. Nowhere cool, but actually it is kind of cool because we're so close to being able to get this thing fired up. It's literally get these little adapters in the transmission, and honestly I could probably just put a loopy in it and just let it do its thing, but I don't want to do temporary stuff. One and done today, and then I just need to go get some stuff. So really that's where I'm at. I need to go get stuff, so I'm gonna have a warm snack with Grandpa, go grab some stuff, and then come back. Update time. Yeah, there's some changes that have happened. Check it out now. Looks a little different. So what I really did was the VSS wires I just hooked up with some bullet connectors so I can just take them apart if I was unhappy and wanted to take the motor out. But then I realized the way I still hooked them in, I'll still have to cut one wire or two wires. Well, that's fine. They're hooked up. Maybe they're working. The transmission wires that were dangling over here, yeah, nope, they got sent down and plugged into the transmission. I also cleaned up the wiring and put the computer in. I put a battery in here that's not good. Yeah, it's dead as can be, of course, because that's all we got is dead batteries. This, still a little wobbly, but it's okay. Air cleaner, that's on. Plugged in. So, yeah, it's a good thing so far. Progress has been made. So the next thing is to get Cody to move his old car here. And you can see the duct tape on his window. That's because the old regulator said, see you later. So we had to put a new one in.
Yo, I'm cheap.
You know, yeah. Duct tape for a month till you can get the regulator. That's how you do it. All right?
Here you go. Here you go.
Still in there. See? See? It's all right. We'll clean it up later. But the regulator we got fixed today. So now it's time to put the key in this thing, start it up. Now there's no exhaust, and I mean like absolutely no exhaust. We've got the exhaust manifolds and then like a 6-inch chunk of pipe on each side. So it's pretty loud, pretty dang loud. Now I can't lie to you guys, but I already did start this yesterday. Yep, I did. I couldn't help myself, you know, and I didn't have my camera yesterday because I was dealing with videos downloading for another video previous weeks. You know, I ran into issues. All right, that's plain and simple. But I moved past them. Here we are today. Now I gotta show you guys that this thing will start up with a jump box, and then we'll see if we could take it down the driveway and back. Plans changed. You know, we got distracted with doing some stuff yesterday. We had to move the motor that we're gonna use for Cody's Trans Am over to my house. So that took up the last bit of time I had. So I came back today. We're gonna hook the jump box thing, you know, that gives the battery juice, so we can start it. And then we'll see if we could take her down the driveway and back, and she doesn't overheat. Maybe if she shifts, you know, just do the overall look check and make sure she's doing what she's supposed to be doing. True. Fired up. We got good oil pressure, check engine lights on. You know, we're reading a little less than half a tank. We got plenty of brakes going on. So let's take her for a spin. Got gearage. Steering right now. Some really bad gas. That old gas. Rides smooth though for an old truck. It probably needs shocks. Oh, come on, steer, baby, steer. that, I have to say, to me, was successful. This truck has been sitting in my dad's barn back there for a year and a half, possibly 2 years, simply for transmission cooler lines. You know, really easy task that I could have done long ago, but you know how life gets in the way. I'm glad it's done now. I can't wait to do more to this truck. So that being said, give me a comment on what you think we should do to this truck. Lift, you know, paint. There's so many ideas, but of course there's plenty to do before we could get to that point. Like, we gotta get us a speedometer. We gotta get that working. We've gotta get well, we don't have to get a tack, but I want to put a tack in there, just, you know, to make me feel good. We got to get exhaust. We got to clean up some electrical. There's plenty. Power steering we got to deal with. Plenty of work to do to this bad boy. But for now, I'm going to call it a wrap, because you just got to keep those feel-good sensations while they're going. I'm proud of myself. This is my first LS swap that me and my dad had started. It took a lot to get to this point. There's still more to do, but it's finally driving. It's almost ready for the road. Super exciting. So I'm gonna end this video right here. It was good. It was fun to work on this thing. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Keep an eye out for more videos on this thing, because there'll be more. We got some cool stuff. We need to do some burnouts with it. Yeah, those brand new tires, they don't need to be so brand new anymore. But I want to make sure that it's 100% solid. I gotta keep pushing, and we'll do a burnout on this thing later. We're here for a good time, not a long time. Don't forget to stay motivated, my friends. So give me a like, a comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I appreciate you guys for watching. Thanks a lot.